Well, we're moving into the dead of winter, so we don't normally think of fresh vegetables at this time of year. But Aisling Walding from Sweet Grown, Alabama is here to say we should.
Absolutely. There are so many wonderful things in season. I know there's not a lot of produce like your spring strawberries or your summer peaches, but winter vegetables are, in my opinion, just as good, if not better. They are phenomenal. There are wonderful things like broccoli and cabbage in season. I know that during this time I like a good hearty meal. So I like to take cabbage and cook it down and add some local sausage and just eat it like that. It doesn't need any seasoning. My mom cooked it for me 2 weeks ago and I am obsessed with it.
I have actually seen people slice a cabbage and have it still round, but slice it into pieces like that and cook it like a steak. And I was like, wow.
It sounds so good.
Something that you never thought about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we do have a few produce items in season. Satsumas, I know that people in Alabama know what a satsuma is. And if you don't, then you need to try one because they are my favorite fruit.
They're just like an orange, only 10 times better.
I know, that's what I tell people. When we go set up at things, some kids are like, what is this? And I say, you know that the oranges that you get at the grocery store, well, this is easier to peel. It doesn't make your fingers messy, and it is 10 times sweeter.
And no seeds.
No seeds.
Yep,
you just eat the whole thing. It's perfect for lunch boxes, taking to work for a little snack. It's just such an easy fruit.
Yeah, the only problem with it is you can't have the seed spitting contest at Christmas.
No, you can't.
All right, so we talked about cabbage, satsumas, cabbage, collards, and kale. We got all the K's. No, they're not all K's, but anyway.
All the greens,
That's
all
right.
the greens, yes. The winter months, I like to think of these as the green months. You know, your hearty vegetables like we talked about, collards and kale. There are so many different ways to cook these. If you don't know how, you can visit our recipe page at sweetgrownalabama.org, and we have tons of recipes sent in by our farmers that they cook for their families. And you can find things on satsumas, cabbages, kale, all that good stuff. But we've also got a video page on our farmers, not just talking about how you cook it, but how it's grown. You know, if you're curious on how different things are grown and you're just not sure, you can actually watch these videos on our website and you can get to learn more about all these things we've got right here.
That is great because so many people now are wondering where their food has come from since they're further removed from the farm. So that's really a valuable part of your website.
Yes, and they answer so many of those questions that you don't even think that you know.
Don't even think to ask about.
I know.
Right. Okay, well, a couple of the things that are seemingly always in season. Beef.
Yes. We wanted to add some beef. I know I mentioned pork earlier, but we've got all kinds of farmers on our database, not just vegetables and produce, but we've got honey farmers, we've got beef people, we've got pork, we've got eggs, and you can kind of find those all the time. You know, people are raising cattle all year round, and they're just, nothing beats a good local steak or ground beef or chuck roast. So
I couldn't agree
had to
with
bring
you more.
those steaks in.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, pecans. Holiday cooking wouldn't be the same without pecans.
Oh, I don't think that you can be a true Southerner if you don't eat pecan pie at least 3 times through the months of November and December.
So, are you a pecan person or a pecan person?
I'm a pecan person,
Okay.
but I think that you can say either and you're good.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, a pecan looks like this and a pecan is made out of metal. Aisling Walding from Sweet Grown, Alabama, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, if you're looking for a good recipe to use some of these farm fresh pecans, we've got you covered. As Stacy Little from SouthernBite.com shares his recipe for Kentucky pecan pie.
In Alabama, farming is more than just a way to make a living. It's a journey that requires knowledge, dedication, and the right support. And for those stepping into it for the first time, expert guidance is key to unlocking the land's full potential. Join us as we discover how Alabama Extension is helping one farmer grow a legacy for his family. Stan Woods has owned and operated Riverwood Outdoors since 2006. After 12 years of managing timber and even a hunting enterprise, Woods felt a pull to farm row crops on his land.
In 2018, I planted my first crop. I think we planted 150 acres of corn, and I think we yielded about 87 bushels.
Woods connected with Alabama Extension, eventually getting introduced to Eros Francisco, a grain crops agronomist with expertise in the management practices Woods needed.
So I like to work with Mr. Woods because as a new farmer, he's always looking into the precise information and he's gaining experience through the process. And it's wonderful to work with someone that is developing the knowledge and the skills to be successful in the operation, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help.
As a new farmer, Extension has been very valuable to help me with finding the information I needed, especially in the areas that I was not familiar with in disease control, weed control, and insect identification.
Extension isn't just about research, it's about relationships. It's about ensuring that farmers like Stan Woods can leave a legacy, not just for themselves, but for future generations.
And my goal is to try to turn this farm where it can make a profit and somebody can live here and have a sustainable life on the farm. I would definitely recommend that any new farmer check with Extension when you have questions like I did.
To learn more about working with Alabama Extension, visit aces.edu.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
For more Simply Southern, follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern continues in a moment.
Buying from local farms has turned healthy eating into an adventure for the kids.
Beef tastes even better when you know the farmers who raise it. I love a good steak, and it's nice knowing that our local ranchers are helping our environment.
I do like a little honey in my tea. Keeping my money in the local economy by buying from Alabama farmers makes it taste even sweeter.
Bring the farm to your home. Discover what's growing near you at sweetgrownalabama.org.